welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be doing the 3 Hobgoblin Fighters. Now I thought we'd finish with the smaller miniatures when we finish with the cultists, but we haven't. We have these 3 to go, and then we start on the slightly bigger ones. What I'm trying to do is get all the ones done for the first scenario, and that way we can start playing, because I want to I want to get a series done doing this as a full campaign, as I've mentioned I think before. Right, so seeing as these are all in armour, what I'm going to do with these is give them a dry brush first of all with Iron Breaker. Okay, and then because I haven't done it for a while, we're going to do some rust effects on these, because I can't really see them being incredibly prudent, shall we say, with their armour. So they're not going to look after them properly, so I think we're going to have them slightly rusted in some areas. So let's get the Iron Breaker on our brush, scrape some of it off, and we'll just go straight down. As I said, we're not doing anything incredibly difficult with these. And again, we'll do exactly the same for all of them. I'm not going to make them fancy like I've done with the other ones by putting the one of the dual paints over it. They're just going to be done as armour, like so. As I say, I've gone over all of the all the metallic areas, or all of the armour areas with this. The reason I'm not doing this skin first is because I want these, I don't want to do the skin and then have to go back over it again after I've done this dry brush. So it's just going to be a case of dry brushing everywhere, and then I can come back and do the whatchamacallit, I can do the flesh and the hair. There you go. Very simple technique. It's very simple, but it's very effective. And this is probably what I'm going to end up doing for the Dark Souls stuff, because from what I've seen on a lot of them, it's just similar kind of armour to this. So there we are. That's the armour basically done, but now we want to do the flesh, and for the flesh I have picked up Doombull Brown. I'm going to be dark skinned, you know, the more animalistic kind of characters, they're not human. So I'm going with like a dark tone for the skin. I'll just moisten my brush and then we can get in the paint and start applying. One thing I haven't done though is put my loop system, my head loop on. Oops, I'm knocking everything over trying to get at it. Won't be a second, just slip it over my head and then I can see all the details. Yeah. And make sure you get underneath the chin. And basically everywhere that you know is going to be flesh tone. And don't forget the back of the ears as well. One up. Start off with the back of the ears, I think. That way I don't forget them later. If I go over any of the hair, I'm not really bothered. I've got a darker colour to go over that. What I'm trying to avoid doing is going over the armour. There we are. And finally, so making sure I go over the tips of the ears, that way I don't forget them. Because you know me, I always forget something. I can't see these are going to be particularly hard to paint. There we go. There's the skin tone. Now we can go to the hair, and for that we're going to use a mix of different colours. First off, we're going to be using, and I can put my finger on it, it's hidden out of the way. We're going to be using a mix of Rhinox hide, which will pop onto the palette, and Abaddon black. Now we don't need as much Abaddon black as we do the Rhinox hide. We're just doing that to darken the brown completely. I don't want it to be mistaken for the skin tone, or too close to the skin tone. I want it very, very dark, so that's why I've picked this mix. And we can go all the way over, and as you can see it is incredibly dark brown now. Depending on how dark you want it, you can put more black in, but I wanted it darker, but I didn't want it too dark. I wanted it to still look brown. I'm thinking that's part of his hair as well. I may be wrong, but if it wasn't, it is now. There we go. There's the her and one done. And now the next one. Start off doing the her line, and then we'll come back to the rest of the her. There we go. I do want it to look like a goblin, even though it is a hobgoblin. I want it in brown rather than green. I mean, I can't actually change the colour yet. But I don't think I will. I may add a little green into the highlight colour. For the skin, I don't know, haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet, but so I like doing things my own way. Yeah. And that's that. Next, we're going to take some, oh dear Lord, of the Doombull Brown. Into that we're going to mix some Pallid Witch Flesh. Now I've got some of this on my palette from the previous video. So I'm just going to mix a little bit in there. And I'm going to use a slightly finer brush. And I'm going to come back into it. I've just painted that one, and we'll add some highlights to the skin tone. And a little bit more. We don't need much on this. And last one. This isn't going to be the final highlight. I'm going to be doing one more on these, I think, because I just want to make them a little stand out a little bit more, because the colour scheme is a little bit basic on these ones. So I'm just going to touch up a little bit of colour. Next, what I'm going to be doing is using a little bit of the Abaddon Black. When I can find it, put it down somewhere. There it is. That one. I'm going to use a little bit of that. And that is going to be for this bit here, which, as I was dry brushing, didn't look to be metal. So I'm just going to go over and touch up anywhere that I don't think it is actually metal with the on the armour. And yes, I am risking it by having that great big droplet of water on the ferrule of the brush. But any second now I can see it dropping off. But there we go. I'm just shutting it off, it's gone now. There we are, so it's no, I'm not saying it shouldn't be a metallic colour, but I want it to be different. So that's why I'm doing it in just plain black. It's going to be like a black metal rather than silver. There we go. And that is that so far. Oops, I just noticed I haven't done than all the others. That's fine. Now what we're going to do is, using, as I said, I was going to put a little bit of green into the skin tone for the final highlight. We're going to do that now. We're going to add a little bit of Nurgling green. So I'm just messing about with me head loop. Need to give this a shake, it's not been used for a while. May need to give it a bit of a stir. So, a little stirry stick. Yeah, I've got 2 pots of paint that are like this, so I'm going to have to get some more next week. What I'll do is I'll get some water. There we go. And we'll just get some of this paint. Add it to. Try and give it a greeny brown cast. And then we can come back with our fine brush straight into this and add my words have gone. Some kind of like extreme highlights to some areas, not everywhere, don't overdo it with this. There we go. And that will do. And what we're going to do is using the Keelia green shade, which is this colour. We're going to go over the flesh, which is like a bluey green colour. And just go over all the flesh tones, well, basically the faces, with this. Which will hopefully we'll go over the hair as well. We'll give it quite an interesting effect, I hope. There we go, there's one done. And now the second. Over her, over the face. There we go, and finally this fella. There we go. Next, what I'm going to start doing is adding the rust effects. Now I don't want to use a good brush with this, so I'm going to use a little naff one. And we're going to start off first of all with Typhus Corrosion. And just get a brush on it and just I'm just seeing some other places what could be what probably should be black, so I'm going to go over those as well in a moment. And so just pick out a few areas. You don't have to completely cover it. I could also put it over the sword as well. Or the sword blade anyway, I wouldn't put it over the hilt. And I'll just put it on in little dabs. This guy really doesn't look after his armour. And once that's dry, we'll go over it again with some riser rust, which will give us the rusty colour. So there we are. We have to wait until this dries now before we can do anything else. Oh, except for adding the touches of black where I want to. So that will be kind of like a surcoat that they were, isn't it? That's the correct name. It could be chainmail that they have underneath the armour. I'm not sure, but I'm not going overboard with it. It's just going to be put really where I can see I'm not making a great fuss of it. Where it looks to be prominent, that's where I'll place, that's where I'll colour it. Everywhere else can do without. It's implied that it's done, so that's it. Well, I can't do anything more until all these dry now, so join me next time when we finish these fellas off. Okay? Until then, take care, God bless, and bye for now.